You are now tuned into the sounds of
Big Nate Sports Talk.
It's on all the time, anytime.
You are now tuned in to Big Nate Sports Talk, the show that's on all the time, anytime. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for all content. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host, Nathan Snell. Bring your sports game with Big Nate Sports Talk.
This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host, Nathan Snell of Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast. This is episode 8, season 14 of the show / podcast. And this episode, we are previewing the number 2 ranked Maryland Terrapins versus the number 3 ranked Notre Dame in the Sweet 16 matchup. Painfully, it is the first game of the Sweet 16. It is an early game, 11:30 in the morning, which makes absolutely no sense.
So when are we gonna say something about it? You know what? I'm gonna walk away. I'll be right back because I'm scared I'm gonna say something that might get me in trouble. Because I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
Things I want to say up front. My producer brought something to my attention where I had mistakenly said episode 9. The thought of the plan was to preview the Sweet 16 games for the men's side, and the games had already started. He had brought that to my attention. So we're just going to move forward and switch some things up. So what you saw with Brendan Potts' episode 7, episode 8. Episode 9 will be the WNBA mock draft. We also will be the NFL offseason. Everything is squared away in that video. And also to recapping the Sweet 16 for the men and get ready for the Elite 8. Same we'll have for the women. We'll recap the Sweet 16, preview the Elite 8. We're getting close down to the wire. So be on lookout for those videos, NFL mock draft as well. But let's get into it. Maryland, the Lady Terrapins, are the number 2 seed entering the Sweet 16. Just about this time last painfully we faced the number 1 seeded squad at the time. I believe it was Stanford, which was a number 1 seed if I remember correctly, but it was Stanford. And we had lost that game. And to see where we're at now this year. Again, a lot of people did not expect Maryland to get to this point in the season. A lot of people questioned the greatness of Brenda Freeze and why can she not keep top recruits? And we didn't really get the full picture. There's, as I'm always saying, there's always three sides to the story. There's coaches, the players, and there's the truth down the middle. But one thing I will say compared to last year's team to this year's team, everybody's brought in. I can tell there's a trust. I can tell there is wanting to make everybody better. And that's not throwing any shade on any former Maryland Terrapins no longer on the team, but that's just what I see. I see everyone that's brought in. Because for what transpired after the Stanford game, and then what felt like to me, what felt like an expose, a Washington Post article that painted Brenda to be this bad person. When yes, there were some things that may not happen under that maybe she could have took accountability for in terms of holding the person that was responsible. We're actually Wusu's health scare. That's more like a medical staff and other things like that. But this notion that Brenda can't keep top recruits or it's egos.
And they have normalized this bullshit.
Agree with that. But this team, to me, has defied the legacy that Brenda, Coach Freeze, has talked about in the early beginning of this season. I'm just really proud of the work that they've put in. And this season, like I said, that they more to me it's more communication issues. But the one thing is that they always are ready to go out there and give it their all. So I'm really proud of this team and what they've done. But let's get some context. Maryland in the first round beat Holy Cross. There really wasn't a lot to take away from it. First and foremost, we beat Holy Cross by 32 points. That was embarrassing. This is a Holy Cross team that won the Patriot League championship. This is also a Holy Cross team that allowed only 55 points as a defensive unit. By the time we went into halftime, Maryland had scored 52 points to 21.
I can't defend that. What do you want me to say to that?
Offensively, Holy Cross had no answers for our defense. Again, every conference is different in terms of competition. I thought the size matchup, particularly with the guards, Holy Cross was a lot smaller. Took advantage of that, scoring 44 points in the paint. The height advantage was definitely there. I predicted before the game, Brene Alexander was going to have a 20-piece. She had 18 points. There were times where Holy Cross, particularly in the third quarter, the defense kind of got checked. They still hit shots. We went to the bench. But I just don't think you shooting 50% in the second quarter. And they're deep, but on the defensive side, you had no answers for Diamond Miller and everybody else on the offensive side of the ball. There really wasn't a lot of positive takeaways from Holy Cross. It was practically a balanced attack. Everybody got a touch on the ball. To the point where even, again, I've been advocating from the beginning of the game. You had the freshmen. You had Gigi Cook. You had Ava. You had they all got some love and got some points on the board. To face a team that allows 55 points,
I can't defend that. What do you want me to say to that?
Fun fact, in the first round opening matchup, teams that are in the number 2 seed are 129-0. And you're asking for a school that's now on the same level like Maryland to try to compete with a better conference opponent. I really, I don't know. Hey, there's nothing else I can say on that. I mean, they held Holy Cross to 4 points in that game. The second lowest, the first time that was against Northwestern.
I mean, this is some bad stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how much more of this I can take. I just don't know. This is ridiculous. Oh, Lord.
Let's next game because that game was really it wasn't embarrassing. There wasn't a lot to take away from it. It was a one-sided basketball game, and that's what this felt like to me. Then we faced the number 2 Arizona. This is where I felt like this was to me an interesting game. This is an Arizona Wildcat team to me that had the most good argument to make a case for them as well as experience roster. 5 years, led by Coach Barnes, is a test of consistency. Still some remnants of that championship squad. To have 20 plus wins in the last 5 seasons, that just speaks to the greatness and just the level of consistency for that program. Now, because to me, they didn't have a 2 seed. They felt like more like a number 4 seed. You can make a case for a 3 seed. I really thought that in the first half of the game is always key for me, because to me, we can get a little out of control. I thought the key was coming out early and being aggressive, and we did that. The first quarter didn't look that well. As a both teams turned the ball over 13 combined 13 first quarter. That's the basketball game. Maryland did all the right things, good looks, made some shots, played defense. Arizona was just held down to 8 points in the first quarter. That was the 10th time that happened. Where we held our opponents to single-digit scoring. And then Cheyenne Sellers down 2 early fouls.
What was that? What the hell was that? I'm sorry the H words and the D words aren't appropriate over the airwaves, but it's going to be today. I don't know how much more of this I can take. How in God's name?
I really, really felt like when she went up with those 2 early fouls, that's when the momentum went towards the Wildcats. I mean, Maryland wasn't looking like box office. I mean, it was a point where we had some rotations of who was playing point. Masoni's point, nothing wrong with that. And especially they took advantage of the size. The matchup to me was key, was Diamond Miller versus Kate Reese. And there were just mismatches in the paint, and that just didn't look good at all. The way and the adjustments that Coach Barnes made, she had more of a defensive lineup. She had an offensive lineup, and I definitely felt like when Shy was not out there, Cheyenne Sellers is the heart and soul of that offensive defense. Because to me, this is the reason why she, to me, is made an all Big Ten team. She's improved on both sides of the ball. She's one of the best two-way guards in the nation. I will argue that to I'm blue in the face, and she's shown that. It just going in the second quarter, it just turned. It just different, and I think Coach Freeze mentioned it in the poster in the presser. Losing her was tough, and she stayed aggressive, and we were down just one going into halftime. They scored 25 points in the second quarter. I mean, taking advantage of the mismatches and just finding the whole defense. And I was really disappointed that I would have liked to seen a couple more timeouts, maybe like another timeout or two, just to calm everybody down and make sure that we stick to the plan. But I like the fact that Brenda is beginning to. I still noticed there was more of a trust and saying, "Okay, I know what you guys are capable of. I've seen this before. We're going to work through this." But for me to see them score 25 points in the second quarter, that was really disappointing. And then she picked up her third foul in the third quarter by the and I'm like, okay, here we go. And fish game, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. This is where look, your start Miller. Diamond is a top NBA draft prospect drafted by the Washington Mystics.
Guaranteed.
Oh my gosh. Why I say that Diamond Miller is a top 4 prep is you've seen every year her game just get better and get better, and particularly in the third quarter, we really needed some energy. Particularly she had the foul. It's like 2 minutes left in the game. Aggie Myers had just picked up her second foul. And there was the one they then led up to a three-pointer, 7-0 scoring run. She scored 13 points. She was 6 of 6 shooting from the field. Then won an 8-2 run. When you finish with 29 points on 9 of 10 in the second half, that's what stars do. And your star player, you're always going to have good games. But now I'm looking for others around her to continue to when she's not having a good game to pick her up. What she did was when Shai went down, Abby went down. Your star took over and said, "Y'all get on my back. I got this." I mean, the fact that you went up 20 points, the momentum shifted towards Maryland. They were up 20 points at multiple points in the game. Particularly that third quarter was key for me. And there were some times where Diamonds missed some layups and almost, watching the game, but we stayed the course. The last two second round matches painfully in the Kelsey Plumwater in Washington. Not going to talk about that. And then losing to on your way there in UCLA back in 2019. We had a 30 on us in that game. And it's interesting to see this team is doing. I'm really proud of the fact that we stayed the course. The fact that we were part of that 29-9 run in the third quarter, and that was at home. It was little things. Missing layups, the defense needed some adjustments. We stayed consistent. We stayed the course, and give credit to where that is. We're not the Sweet. Now we're at the Sweet 16. It was a good game. Let's give Coach Barnes credit. Hey, look, that's a well-oiled machine over there. You know, you still got to take them, respect them. You still respect your opponent no matter what. We didn't waste any time. We started on fast on both sides of the floor. Shot 54% from the field with 4 players in double figures, forced 7 early turnovers. I mean, the transition offense was immaculate. That third quarter was probably some of the best basketball I ever saw. Yes, took our foot off the gas in the second quarter, but the final 20 minutes of the game is where that's where your money's made. And we so gracefully move on to the Sweet 16. We play Notre Dame. But before we have to get to the sponsor of today's episode, and that is Zagnif Apparel. Do you want to dress like you're famous, ladies and gentlemen? I encourage you to please mosey on down to Zagnif Apparel and check out some of the merchandise that they have so you can dress like you're famous.
The following is a presentation of Zagnif Productions, LLC. Introducing Zagnif Apparel. Our comfortable line of leisure wear and athletic wear will have you comfortable and stylish at any occasion. Whether you're at the gym, out shopping, or just relaxing at home. Whether you're an athlete or just want to lay around the house, we've got the perfect outfit for you. Stop by our website today and pick up your favorite pieces. Zagnif Apparel. Dress like you're already famous.
% off using my code when you go to Zagnif Apparel. Big Nate. Again, check Zagnif Apparel out. Thank you so much, Anthony Handy, for letting us the sponsor for Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, check out Zagnif Apparel. Great merchandise. And I promise you, dress like you're already famous. Let's get quick 30, at least another break in here, and then we'll preview the game against Notre Dame. We'll be right back.
If ever you find yourself in need of someone you can count on, call on me. I will be the shoulder on which you can lean. 'Cause I'm always here to listen, to be the one that you can count on. Pick you up when you start to fall. And if you ever need me, girl, all you have to do is call. I'll be the one to dry your tears, the one who will chase away your fears. And I'll go that extra mile to see you smile again. Whenever you need me, I will be there. I'll always be with you to show you I care. No matter what may come, you'll always be my...
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just get into it. Number 3, Notre Dame. The last time we saw these girls was December 1st. And if you remember, the game was attrition of Kevin Durant and Stephen Curry. Miller finished that game with 31 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks, 2 steals. Remember that stat line correctly. Not in this game. She did play in that game, but due to Olivia Miles is not playing in this game against the Maryland Terrapins.
Relationship with your children.
My God.
She's doing hope that Olivia is doing well. Hope she's getting better soon. Uh, um, and Olivia Miles is regardless when healthy is a star. She's showing that. She was shut down, seeing a knee injury that prevented her from even participating. All season, she's just been the cog in the engine for that team. Now you're looking to Sonia Cintron. You remember in that game, her and Olivia Miles. Sonia had 24 points in that game. And I think Olivia had a good 14, 15 points. At the time, they were the 7th, if I'm not mistaken correctly. She was Olivia coming into this game, before coming into the tournament, I think it was average almost like 15 a game. And she was actually their leading rebounder. I think almost like 7 rebounds a game. So, hey, give Coach Ivory her flowers. They finished the year 27-5. They went 15-3 in the ACC. I believe their only losses were against Duke, NC State, and oh my God, it's North Carolina. That's the 3 schools he lost to. Other than that, they've been pretty damn well, in my opinion. She should have been good. So she should be, to me, in my book, Coach of the Year, on the Naismith Coach of the Year. Is now down to 4 now for the finalists. But one thing I'm curious to see how this game will look. What does this team look like without Olivia Miles? That's going regardless of Olivia not being out there. Like I said, Sonia Cintron is not going to be the focal point of that offense. It's going to come down to Maryland's defense. I think Maryland's defense is going to be key early. Look for them to use that zone press early. Look for them to get out on the transition early. And also to understand Notre Dame is looking for some payback. Because this is the same where in the Sweet 16, this is where unfortunately, our season was ended. And Notre Dame they're ready for this moment. For me, this is the first timer for Brene Allinger, who, shout out to her, sacrificed to be a part of a winning culture, a winning program. Lavender Briggs, who did not play last year. This is her first tourney run. Alyssa Pinzon, this is her first tourney run. Abby Myers. The ability to compete for a national championship. This is the first time they're all taking the floor in a semifinal, and I'm happy for them. I truly am, and I'm just really appreciative of the work they've put in this year and what they've done for the team, and just staying consistent, staying the course. Even though I would like their minutes to be more consistent, particularly Lav and Brie and Nay. But the minutes that they do give, they do go out there and give it their all. So I'm really proud of what they've done. And again, for also some of the non-freshmen, Bree McDaniel, who will be playing sigh relief. Thank God there was no structural damage to her knee. She suffered an injury in the game against Arizona, had to be helped off the court, but thank God she's good to go. And I'm hoping that along with Gigi, Mila, Ava, and even Hallie Kerbick is transferred from Towson, are soaking in this moment. So I'm happy that we've gotten this far. When they reseeded the 16 teams, Diamond Miller and Cheyenne Sellers came at, I believe, number 4 and 18. So my keys are simple. It's going to come down to the defense early. The foul trouble, we got to contain the fouls. It's also going to come down to our offense. Diamond Miller picked the team up when it needed a spark. Now I'm looking for the others around Diamond to really continue that synergy. I'm looking for Abby Myers to get going early. I'm looking for Cheyenne Sellers to get going early. I'm looking for Faith game. Listen, Faith, it has just been a mild, just consistency, just giving you max effort on both sides of the floor. Her shot selection to me is subpar. just got to clean. It's the little things. Got to communicate on defense. That transition offense against Arizona was beautiful, and I'm hoping to see that more. This is a team, Notre Dame. They've got some ball. Really going to come down to the defense getting going early. This is a Notre Dame team that beat Southern Utah in the first round and then beat Mississippi State. This is a Mississippi State team that has defending champions, that were champions. So, still, without Olivia Miles, it's still is a threat, and it's going to come down to those keys. It's just going to come down to the defense. It's going to come down to the offense. It's got to be aggressive early. And if we do, I think I know there's going to offense is going to run. Yeah. They also trying to create mismatches. I would like to see the offense really get going, make some adjustments on the offensive side of the ball, but expect the bench to get in there early. I am expecting that. That final score, I'm looking at the lines of 81-71.
Guaranteed.
I think Maryland can do it. I'm confident that they can do this. They're peaking at the right time, and to me, they're number 2 seed for a reason. I think their road to the tournament is a little easier, and I'm happy for them. I really think that for me, it's going to be interesting. I don't think this is a rematch. And both teams are going to be ready to play. The game starts at 11:30, so I'm hoping that everyone got a good night's rest. I'm not a fan of the early games, and let's get into the last topic.
Incoming message.
The podcast. That's final message.
Thoughts are running through my mind. Someone took some time to find a minute or two to organize.
As we're getting ready for really the end of college basketball, it's been actually really great to see some number 1 seeds get upset, and to see programs that are on the upcoming building make their mark. But I also think it's very, very important as media to give those teams that are still respectable their flowers. I think it's interesting. I don't think winning championships or being a successful program changes anything when you have a media that still does not recognize the greatness of a program or a player. I think it's easy to say winning conquers everything, but regardless, media is still going to have its biases. It's still going to push certain, and that has changed. Let's start really, really appreciating some of this greatness that we're seeing, with whether it's a South Carolina, whether it's a Duke, whether it's a North Carolina, whether it's a Maryland, whether it's a Stanford. Does not matter. Let's truly appreciate the greatness, and we really have to do better as a mainstream media when we're pushing these narratives and discrediting others to make those narratives. And I think that's just very disgusting. We need to be better at that. And it's the same thing with the WNBA, but that's another subject of the video. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude of Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope each and every one of you have a great weekend. Stay dry, stay safe, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Be on the lookout for episodes 9, 10, and 11. I actually do have a serious special message in episode 9 to that. Go Terps, and we will be going to the Elite Eight. Guarantee.
But they don't know, they don't know, they don't know. Nobody knows but us how we roll, how we roll.
Thank you for tuning in to Big Nate Sports Talk. If you enjoyed that episode and you want to see more content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bring your sports game on Big Nate Sports Talk.
It's on all the time, anytime.
I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you, yeah. I wanna thank you. Ooh. For all the times you put up with me. Thank you. And you helped me retain my sanity. Thank you. I wanna thank you. And I wanna thank you. All I wanna do is say thank you. For everything you do, yeah.
Ha 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 ha!